Miraculous Ladybug has many qualities and many times is a really well-written series, but the series isn't flawless, and we have some things that don't make sense in the show. And in today's video, I will show them to you. So if you're interested, stick with me because it's stone time. Hey beautiful people, I'm Julie, and let's begin by talking about a simple detail in the show's opening. When Marinette sings, but there's something about me that no one knows yet, cause I have a secret. First of all, I have to say that this section is really redundant. If there's something that no one knows, it's obvious that is a secret, Marinette. But I also have to say that this line doesn't make sense for a while now, since along the seasons, many people find out who is Ladybug, like Alia, Luca, Felix, and Kagami. So they should change this line in the opening for there's something that only a few people know. Now, let's talk about the places where miraculous owners usually pick to transform. The most reasonable thing to do is go somewhere desert, with little to no chance to be seen. And there are some times when they do exactly that, like when Marinette and Adrien transform in their rooms. But there are many times when they just go to a place where they can be seen in plain sight. And the fact is that they haven't been seen yet makes me flabbergasted. The script is too kind to them. For example, there are times when they transform in an alley. The chances of someone passing by while they're transforming are huge. In fact, it has happened once when a group of people found out Cat Noir in an alley right when he was about to transform back to normal. Luckily, he didn't reveal his identity because some girl scared him asking for a photo. We can also talk about the times when the heroes de-transformed in some rooftop, where it's easy to spot them by some random window, or even depending at the spot if someone just look up. Not to mention that there would be a risk of them being photographed by one of those GPS satellites. And to top it all off, there was one time in the episode Sepatis when Alia transformed into Rena Rouge literally in the middle of a square. It's ridiculous how there's no one there at the time, not even a Sepatis. Oh, and it's also worth to mention that a bathroom isn't the best option to transform. Although it's a classic, what if some people saw you coming in and then see your hero form coming out? This person would find out your secret identity. But of course, that has never happened to Ladybug. And this takes us to another section in this video. How can Paris be such an empty place? France's capital has a population of more than 2 million people, not to mention the huge amount of tourists coming from all around the world. But in Miraculous Ladybug, it seems to be a small city because of how few people we can see on the streets, and there are always at the same people. Some fans theorize that because of the threat of the Acumatized, most of citizens may have moved away from the city. But this isn't true when we watch the last scene of Strike Back or the opening scene of Evolution, when a large mass of people gathers to support Ladybug. It was the scene with the most amount of people in the entire series for sure, which shows that Paris does have a large population. And it makes us wonder, how come there's almost no one when action begins? Well, this has a technical explanation, since the creators of the show rather save money when animating the scenes, saving up by not making a lot of models for citizens and always recycling them. This way, they can use the money to make other scenes. Not to mention that animating a huge crowd would be a time-consuming project that could delay the company's schedule. But as I said, these are all technicalities that have nothing to do with the series lore, so it isn't a justification for why there's always so few people on the streets. Maybe most of Paris' population work from home? I don't know. Now let's talk about Master Fu. He must be really smart since he chose two great owners for the two most powerful miraculous from the Chinese box. Either that or he is just really lucky, since the method that he chose to do that wasn't the greatest one. Basically, all he did was put himself in dangerous situations to see if someone would help him. And this by itself is really weird, since these actions, although they are kind, wouldn't be a solid proof that the person has a great personality. Helping an old man that fell right next to you just shows that you have decent manners, but that's fine. Although his methods showed that people's nature, he could have repeated the process many times, so he would have a selection of candidates. But no, he gave the miraculous to the two first people that helped him. Just like that, he didn't know anything about them. He should have researched them before just handing over the charms, so he knows that they would be good owners, and to know if they would be to the powers and responsibilities that come with the miraculous, both in having time in their routines and in being mentally capable of dealing with these situations. If Master Fu has seen how anxious is Marinette or how full is Adrien's schedule, he might have thought this through and wouldn't handle them to Ladybug and Cat Noir Miraculous. Not to mention that it's weird that he decided to trust Paris' destiny into teenagers, right? I think most people would pick adults for this task. Not to mention that teenagers are more susceptible to others' influence. So this choice could have resulted in the owners that at some point would decide to use the miraculous for the wrong reasons. But what can we do now? Let's be thankful that the script was on Master Fu's side and he picked two nice and capable teenagers. And finally, there's something that doesn't make sense in the New York special. In the scene where Innovatrix goes to Marinette to say that the United Heroes need the Ladybug's help, since Hawkmoth is in New York, the android says that she knows her secret identity since the magical miraculous uniforms only hide their identities from the human eye. And since she is not a human, she sees how they truly are. And no, I'm not saying that the heroes appear naked in the news on the TV. The image goes through a machine, but who sees the image still is a human. So far, it makes sense. What I found weird is that before Innovatrix goes to talk to Marinette, she sees Hawkmoth through the television. And since she can see through any disguise, this means that she knows the true face of Hawkmoth. And at any point she thought about telling Ladybug how it is. Or even to Cat Noir, who is the son of the villain. The two reasonable explanations I came up with are the following. Either Innovatrix doesn't know who is Gabriel Agreste, which I don't think so, since he is a famous stylist and Innovatrix probably has a database in her system, or she figured that the heroes already knew the villain's identity, so she figures she doesn't have to say it. But it still doesn't make sense, since if the heroes knew it, they would have told someone, even if it's the authorities, and maybe they would have defeated him already. The true explanation is that the screenwriters let that slide, and because of that, it made it into our list of things that don't make sense in Miraculous. And that's it, guys. Did you notice all these things that don't make sense in the series? Notice anything else? Comment it down below. Thank you a lot for watching this video till here, and hasta la vista!